Hello, I'm Craig Otto. I'm going to share today what A3 thinking is all about. It's basically a lean tool that was developed um, to tell a story about whatever problem or issue or improvement you're trying to deal with. Um, the nomenclature actually came from the sheet of paper that we would use to do an A3. It's 11 by 17. That's all that means. A3 is a metric paper size in Europe, and it's 11 by 17 piece of paper. Basically, it's a process that uses consensus building. It's systematic. It's a documented methodology, and it's just a communication tool that can be used at all levels. Why do A3 thinking? I like it because it's a structure for improvement. I like the way it makes you organized in your thought process. You can use it for individual challenges or team challenges. And really, it should tell a story, like a storyboard in a film. Typically, A3s have 9 boxes, and it basically takes you through the problem solving process. Um, but it should help you understand the message and take you through the experience of whatever it is you're trying to share. How do you achieve it? You want to be inclusive, as inclusive as possible. That means if you want to draw hand drawn pictures to convey thoughts, or just words or whatever you want to use. Pictures are probably the best though, because it's of course it always tells 1,000 words, the age old saying. But if you have diagram sketches, whatever type of information that's graphic is usually pretty good. Um, Usually, when you're working in a team, you want to boil everything down by consensus, and kind of get that story in a good format. You want to tell that story also without the need for interpretation. So you want someone to be able to not know anything about it, come up to that A3 piece of paper and be able to read it just like a story and know exactly what's going on. Um, you can do A3 thinking for all types of activities like strategic planning, problem solving, decision making, personal improvement plans, sharing good ideas. We at our plant we use this for value stream analysis events, or we call them VSA events. We also use them for RIE events, and you can use it for policy deployment, reporting progress, whatever you want to use it for. It can be done. When you create it, you want to make sure you define what the purpose is. You should have a format in mind that you want to use. Make sure you know your team, and basically from there, you just want to have a story that has a beginning, middle, and end, and just going and looking at reasons for actions for the middle or for the beginning. The middle should be your gap analysis, solution approach, and rapid experiments. The end, obviously, you get into the completion plans, confirmed state, and maybe showing what some of the future issues are. Um, but this A3 should be a living document. I know when we use them at work, usually we keep ours going up through 90 days at least, sometimes longer, where we're putting updates on it and using it sort of like it says as a living document, and that's how we communicate the status of what we're doing. Here it is in A3. This is just a step-by-step approach of how to fill an A3 in. Basically, at the top, you want to have whatever it is you're focused on in the title block, and then a sponsor, if you have one, when the event date and the report out date is that you share it with leadership, if you do that. At the bottom, you should have your team names, and we have site location and what the facilitator of the event was. Fill all that information in. The first box is at the top left. There are 9 boxes, and it basically goes from your beginning is boxes 1 through 3 on the left side. The middle 3 boxes are obviously the middle of your story, and then the right 3 boxes are the end. Starting with box 1, that should be your issue to be addressed. You can do it at 3 different levels. Maybe one's at a customer level, one might be at a product line level, or a business unit level, and then you can get all the way down into the value stream or cell level, depending on what the issue is. And you just list it out, whatever the issue is, and what you're doing and why you're doing it. Box 2 gets into the current state. Basically, this is where you want to put all your data. If you're doing a VSA, you'll put your current state value stream map in there, as much metrics and bar charts as you can. Desired state, box 3. This is sort of your future state, where you want to be, what good looks like. Obviously, as much data as you can fit in there, you want to put in there. Box 4 gets into the gap between 2 and 3. So box 2 is your current state, box 3 is your desired state. What you're identifying in box 4 is the gap between those. What's causing the gap? What do you need to do differently? A lot of times you use a SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, or a fishbone diagram, also known as a cause and effect diagram, or your basic quality tools like a Pareto or an affinity diagram, so forth. Also a good place for 5 whys. Box 5 gets into, so you identify the gap. Box 5 talks about how you're going to fix it, sort of your improvement approach, whether you're going to do a VSA event, a rapid improvement event, use Six Sigma methodology, so forth. There's all kinds of different things you can do in the improvement approach. Box 6 is the actual trials or experiments that you do maybe during the week of the event, sort of tests that you run, or trials that you do, things that you try to accomplish during the week. Box 7, basically everything that you don't get done is your action plan for achieving that box 3, the desired state. So any of those lists, projects, just do its events, whatever it may be, get the due date down, who's responsible, and describe specifically what it is that you're trying to do. Box 8 talks about, after you implement this desired state, what are the actual improvements? How much cycle time did you reduce? How much inventory did you reduce? Lead time reduction, cost reduction, whatever it may be, whatever metrics you're tracking, that's where you document those improvements. And of course, box 9 is your lessons learned. They could be good, they could be bad. I know in my events I have all kinds of things that we've tried that maybe didn't work. This is a good place to put those down so other teams don't have to go through that learning process just as you did. So box 9 is your lessons learned. So overall, this is just an example of an A3. So, and again, this is just one from work. You can also do these at home using personal A3s and all that good stuff. So just a good tool to use for many different applications.